Welcome back to One on One, New York's longest running sports call-in show. I'm Chris Bocci with Emmanuel Barbari, and we have a special guest this morning. Fordham men's football head coach Joe Conlin joins us. And after some excellent news last night, we learned that Fordham and the Patriot League are going to have a 4-game spring season beginning on March 13th, going until April 17th. First of all, Coach, thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having me. It's great to be on the show, and obviously we're pretty excited about this news.
And us too here at FUV, because we're gonna have the chance to cover your games and get the chance to have Fordham football back for our entire university community. First question, just how glad are you to have the chance to have a spring season, get the guys moving again, get a chance to have real football, 11-on-11 in the Patriot League again in advance of another season next fall? How important is you guys get game action?
I think it's very important, obviously, that we practice football because we were able to play a little bit this fall. We got 6 practices completed, but really it's giving our guys something to work for. And we weren't going to do anything our team didn't want to do. So we reached out to each player, and asked them as a man, are you ready for this? Do you want to do this? Do you guys want to compete? And I couldn't get the sentence out. These guys were ready to go, and they just want to play, and they want to get back to normal in some way, shape, or form, whatever that looks like. So thrilled for our kids, thrilled for our coaching staff. These guys just want to be able to do what they love to do and be around our guys.
Coach, before we got on, you were talking about how you have ways to go before you start playing the games and competing at a high level. How much of a gap do you feel you have to bridge between now and March?
From on the field, that will come with practice. It's everything else. I've been texting with Sam Diamond, our director of football operations, this morning already, just about, okay, everything that has to be covered. You guys mentioned you're covering us. Okay, now if you're in the travel party, now we have to count for that. And it's, and you're more than welcome. But obviously it becomes but now we have to get you tested, right? And we have to figure out the locker room. We have to figure out meals. We have to figure out everything. So it's, even when you start practice and how you dismiss the guys at the end of practice is affected by this. So in anticipation of this, we've been calling around to all of our friends and the business guys who've played, teams that played this fall and trying to figure out best practices. What did you like? What did you not like? And how did you kind of get through it? So, there's a lot that needs to be hammered out, but well worth it to get the guys back on the field.
Having this pandemic affect everything that you do, not in a business that can so easily move to a remote world, your spring work, of course, obviously the fall season, what's it been like navigating, leading this team throughout a pandemic in a remote environment, the practice you've been able to do? How's it been being able to keep this team prepared now for a new season?
It's not something I'd like to repeat, but it's been interesting and it's been a challenge. And I hate Zoom. I'm sick of Zoom. And but Zoom meetings with the team are great. Because it's interactive and and the guys have personalities and they all have different backgrounds and stuff like that. But I think my staff and I would all say if we never have another Zoom staff meeting again, we'd be okay with that. But it's been. You do what you got to do, and we're still very fortunate that we still get to do what we love. We're still getting paid. Fordham's been unbelievable. So, can't really complain. And a lot of people have it much worse than we do right now. So, we missed out on a season, but everyone gets the eligibility back. We're going to be able to play this spring. So. There's this thing's been very, very difficult for a lot of people. It's been an inconvenience for us, but listen, who's going to complain? Let's go, let's get it. And, we're on to the next thing, and the guys have been great. My staff's been great. So, let's go.
Coach, sticking on that note for a moment, back in March, whether it be then when you really weren't doing any football activity, there was that pause for everyone, or in the fall now where you're doing football activity, but with those COVID-19 restrictions, as coaches, you spend your entire career trying to coach one way and making adjustments on the fly. What were some of the first things your staff did to prepare yourselves for the environment?
So in terms of when we were fully virtual or when we came back?
Fully virtual.
Okay. Yeah. Well, the first thing you do obviously is, we had scrimmage that Saturday. We were supposed to practice the following Tuesday. We got shut down on a Monday, and we were 6 practices in the spring ball. We were having a great spring practice. So the first thing you do is you figure out strength training, right? If you can't practice, you figure out strength and conditioning. And Coach Gilfetter and our strength staff did a fantastic job with that. And then, the next step was, okay, how do you continue to recruit? And what do we have? What resources can we use? How do you figure that out? That all out. And, to their credit, the NCAA has been extremely flexible with what you can do. From a recruiting standpoint, with obviously instituting the dead period, but what you can do kind of because of that. So, you do a lot of Zooms with recruits, you get them involved with your student athletes, which the NCAA is allowing you to do. You Zoom with the parents, you try to do everything you can to build that relationship the same as you would in normal times. You can't get people to campus, so you do virtual campus tours. You walk around campus on FaceTime with student athletes. And then when gyms shut down, what do you do? Okay, so I got guys scattered across the country. They're at home, but okay, they're training, they're working out at gyms. They're doing okay. But when gyms close, okay, now we got to figure it out. Now we have to figure out, and our strength staff did a great job of reaching out to kids. What equipment do you have? Okay, this is what you can do. So there was never, and it's very similar to when we came back, right, in the fall. You have to think of every situation. You can't leave anything to chance. And when you think you have it figured out, there's another thing that's going to come up that you have to address. And that's part of running an organization. You have to think of those things, and it's outside of your comfort zone. But that's when you become better. So it's been an interesting challenge.
Coach, you enter your 3rd season here at Fordham. Last year, you're able to take a step up, win 4 games, get a win in your last game here at home. What are you looking to do in the shortened season? What are the goals? It's a shorter year. You're not going to have the chance to play a non-conference schedule. What are you looking to do in a 4-game schedule?
Yeah, we talk very little about winning, and it's not. We just want to play with tremendous effort and tremendous attention to detail, and that's what we're trying to do. We're a year older basically everywhere, and we only had 6 seniors on that team in 2019. It seems like that was the last time we played. It seems like 100 years ago, but we only had 6 seniors on that team, and so I think the statistic was 93% of our returning starters are back. So that's it's exciting. But you just want to see these guys play with unbelievable effort, unbelievable resiliency, like we showed down in Georgetown or against Richmond at home, and you want to see them just play and just have fun playing. That's really what we strive for every game. Just look like you're having more fun than they are. Play harder, play smarter, and let's get after it.
Coach, short one. What did you learn about your team this fall?
That's a good question. I learned that, the guys we have really love it, and they really impressed me with their maturity and self-discipline. 19-year-olds under pretty serious restriction, away from their parents, can go one way or they can go another. And I thought our guys did an unbelievable job. Probably better than 19-year-old me would have done. But they really surprised me with how seriously they took this, their devotion to each other, and how they can sacrifice, a semester of the quote unquote college experience for each other. And they understand that they're probably going to have to do that again, and then hopefully next fall we're back to normal with the rollout of the vaccine. But their willingness to do that, the leadership from the captains, there were 2 weeks there when the city came in and they wanted to review some things, so we couldn't really have official workouts where we were doing, the captains were running stuff, and we didn't skip a beat. So proud of them, and just can't wait to get them back to New York City.
Coach, final one for you. Your quarterback, Tim Demour, out of junior now, stepped up in a big way in the Patriot League last year, led the league in passing yards per game, passing touchdowns, took a jump. What do you look for him to do in the shortened stint? And then I guess we can lend that right into next fall. What kind of step do you want to see him take and your team take behind him? Yeah,
I mean, Timmy's had an unbelievable offseason. Really, he's becoming a leader. He's 218 pounds now. He's a tremendous work ethic in the weight room, on the field. He and Coach Decker have a tremendous relationship. So Timmy's been fantastic, and he's getting it done in the classroom. He's been up over 3.0, I think, every semester but one. He's been tremendous, and he's really working at it. And we'd like him just to continue to develop as a leader, and on the field, he really took a step, especially towards the end of the year. I thought his best 2 games were his last 2 games, which is what you want, what you want out of a sophomore quarterback. We just like him to continue to make plays with his legs, and we want to get the ball out of his hands quickly. We got to do a better job up front of keeping him upright, and he's got to do a better job of either getting rid of bad plays or using his legs, because he's a pretty good athlete. But really excited, really glad we have him. Just a tremendous kid to be around, and a great representation of Fordham.
Coach Joe Conlin, we thank you so much for the time, and best of luck to you and your team this season.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you in March.
All right.
Thanks, Coach.